rainy season, and I think that's the reason why this is what we consider our winter showing up right now. But anyway, and because of that, during the making of this program, we had a little challenge with my interview with Joaquin. So I want to apologize in advance because he's not going to be on today's show, but I will have him on next week's show. We will still do the interview, but I still want to tell you about El Palmar because that's what we're talking about. So this property is located 150 feet from the beach, and it is absolutely beautiful. It's a new concept because it is a property that is being built by the bank. So the contractor is not necessarily the owner. And so the financing for expats is a lot easier. Joaquin has been in this business for over 12 years. He helped to sell one of the more larger units out in the Rio Hato area years ago. And he's very good with working with people and helping them make their dreams come true of living on the beach. You know, that's what our show is all about, is living your best life, living your dreams, and checking off that bucket list. And so this property, along with his expertise, is the perfect solution for people that want to either have a second home, a weekend home. If you want to have an investment property, it is absolutely the perfect situation. And they're building the second part of this. They have a tower, and they're building now what they call the low rise. And it is facing the pools, it's facing the ocean. They have 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units, and like I said, they're working with the bank directly so that people can get financing quickly, easily. You don't have to worry about getting the deed to your property, and they can turn over the keys. Joaquin is really caring. He wants to give you exactly what you want. So sorry that he didn't get to come here and tell you his story himself. This is the craziest thing ever. It's never happened before, but ish happens, and we're going to overcome and adapt and go on with the rest of our show, and we will get Joaquin in here. But good thing is we have included his event that he's having for the open house, so come on out and see him. If we can get him back on the show today, we will get that done. We just will add it in and do a supplement, but we'll get him in here. Sorry about that, Joaquin. I know everybody's looking forward to hearing you. So let's talk a little bit about what else is going on in the expat world. So according to ACS International Schools, top 5 trends in becoming expats, this is what's going on. Assignments are shorter. So prior to the 1990s, expats assignments usually lasted 3 to 5 years. And that's kind of good because that really gave you time to acclimate to your new country and really get into it and feel like you were settled for a little while. Now the assignments are shorter, often just a year or sometimes even 6 months. So that's just, it gives you an opportunity to say that you've done it, and it gives you some, experience that you probably otherwise would not have happened. But companies are not wanting to incur that long-term expense that they used to. And plus, with people being able to work remotely now, it's cut down on the amount of time that people need to be located in that particular destination. Global mobility increases deployment is more common. So this means that companies have more managers abroad that need to quickly adjust to the new culture to make the most of their assignment. So the relocated person has less time to adjust to a new way of interacting with others and getting positive results from their new colleagues, not to mention trying to make positive change in a culture they don't understand. Yeah, so that kind of goes along with the first one. Women are the next expatriates. So 62% of millennial women in 2016 said they were willing to take a position in a less developed country in order to advance their career. Women used to be the passive expatriates that would move where their partner was being sent, take the kids to international school, and have meetings at the international women's clubs. Not anymore, folks. Not anymore. We're taking the lead as more women are independent and career-oriented. I can see how this would be an opportunity, and it provides an opportunity for a woman that may be single to travel to a foreign country, and because she's working, has a safety net that allows her to feel a little more comfort about being in a place by herself because she has a built-in network with her colleagues. So that's pretty cool. And men are following their women. If you watch House Hunters International, which I am a fanatic of, you will see that a lot of times men will leave their careers to move to an international destination with their working wives. So, and they're the ones taking care of the kids. So things have changed. Expats are becoming younger. How do you find a role in today's highly connected and competitive world? Well, millennials say, I don't have to stay in Kansas anymore. They get the opportunity to look at the world as a job opportunity or career opportunity. And I say, go for it. My son's on a ship right now, traveling the world over in Asia right at this particular time. And he's been to the Mediterranean. This is his second stint in Asia. And I just think that that's the perfect opportunity, especially if you have no responsibilities and you're young and you're trying to still find yourself and develop yourself as a human. Get out there and search for jobs that are international. And even if it's not permanent, live someplace else for a while. Talent retention, returning home. So this is pretty interesting, I thought. So when an assignment ends for an expatriate who's gone to a different country because of work, returning home is a transition that's harder than you would expect, because that person sacrificed a lot but has grown so much as a person. When you travel, you grow. With each vacation to a new destination, you grow as a person, as an individual. So imagine living in a different place like we are right now. I'm learning Spanish, I'm learning a new culture, it's opening my eyes to how others live. And so it's hard to then go back to that old job, sitting in that old same desk, doing the same things. So instead, companies have found that success is by promising new positions following the end of an expat assignment and working to integrate the skills the expat used while on assignment when they return home. So the worst thing you can do for a person that's been on a foreign assignment is to put them back in the same role that they had. They are not the same person. Their skills aren't the same. They're more valuable to the company if you allow them to be so. So I really think that those are some really good trends, especially if people are moving for work. So let's talk about another set of statistics that I found that I think are fantastic. And I'm going to try and get these folks on the show because they have some really good information at expatexplorer.hsbc.com. They provide services for expats, but they've done some really good research regarding expats and what all is involved, what we should know, things that people don't really tell you, and things that places. They did the research on the places and what causes people to go to these particular places. So their motto for a successful expat is get involved. Their research shows how crucial a full social life is to the expat experience. Learn a little language, dive into the local culture, and become a true citizen of the world. I'm going to attest to that. Because the one thing about being an expat that most people don't recognize is when you leave your social network, you really realize how alone you are in the world. And that can do two things for you. It can help develop you as a person, as an individual, and you learn more about yourself, or it can make you miserable to the point that you can't take it anymore and you want to go back home. So which person are you going to be? And how do you develop a new social network? And depending on how old you are, how much energy do you want to put into that? You know, as a young person, you have more opportunities of going to clubs, going to parties, going to different organizations and things. And you put a lot of effort into your social life if you're that type of a person. As for someone that may be going in the retirement age and you're stepping away from years, decades of building a social network with family and friends, and you find yourself in this country where you don't know anyone with maybe yourself or your spouse, and it will make or break a relationship as well, because you learn a lot about what that spouse is really like when they're alone with you, because it's just the two of you. And so I have found for myself especially that I'm a social butterfly. I like to go out and meet new people. I'm kind of a homebody too, though, because I like being home with my man. I like listening to some music, having our own happy hours, spending time with each other. We were friends, so nothing has really changed there, except he has become a real homebody. I knew he was a homebody, but he is really good at being here by himself and not having to do the social thing. I think he's appreciating that, but he's only been retired a year, and he was ready to retire. He was ready to sit back and not have to have those interactions and relationships with the corporate people. So he's good with that. But I need the social aspect of my life. And so I've joined some organizations, Beach Business Networking. I became the minute keeper or the secretary so that I would be involved. I'm part of Libre de Basura, which is a beach cleanup. I started that organization or our group here in Vista Mar in the San Carlos area where I live. And, I'm finding things to do, hiking group, just all kinds of stuff. There are all kinds of ways to get involved and find your place. But social interaction and getting involved is crucial. So what else does HSBC say, the Expat Explorers? What makes a great expat destination? Experience, economics, and family. So let's take a look at some of the destinations that are top. Singapore is number all for overall experience, 6th in experience, 3rd in economics, 5th in family. New Zealand is 2nd overall, number 1 in experience, 9th in economics, 2nd in family. Germany is 3rd overall, 15th in experience, 2nd in economics, 8th in family. Canada is 4th overall, 8th experience, 6th economics, 6th family. And Bahrain, they keep coming up, 5th overall, 10th experience, 5th in economics, and 11th. So that's pretty interesting, isn't it? Those are the top 5 according to HSBC. Another thing that is pretty interesting are 5 things no one tells you about living abroad. So paperwork. What kind of paperwork is necessary? Documents that you might need in order to enter a country, to verify your identity, pay your taxes, clear shipments through customs, apply for permits, and so on and so forth. The paperwork is crucial. Find out before you get to the destination that you're moving to what's going to be needed for everything. The one thing that we had to do before we came to Panama was we had to get our paperwork